G'day, this is Mandingo, and this is my video on how I do neon effects for t-shirt design using halftones. And if you know me, you know I love halftones. So here's my artwork. I've made this to size to fit on the screen for the press. Here's my artwork, so to speak. What I do, it's very simple, is I keep it really simple. I pick two colors for the actual glowing effect. If you're doing like a blue neon effect, I like to pick like a really bright blue and then sort of a medium or dark blue as well for the colors. And then I use white for sort of the hot spot of the neon tubing, or whatever you want to call it. So what I do is on the Mac I hit Command and click the layer icon and select the transparency of that layer. Flood the front of it with the bright blue and maybe give it a, I don't know, expand that selection. I don't know, say 3 pixels. You don't really need it big. You can go much bigger if you like. This is just to get sort of the bleeding color. So then I select the original artwork layer and then I contract that selection, say about approximately 10 pixels, give or take. You can do more if you want. Play around with it. Yeah, you can do 20. And then I delete it. So the white is peeking through. So we have our bright neon, our hot white neon, and then of course the t-shirt color, the background. What I like to do now is behind the artwork, select the transparency of the art and then flood it, so you can see, flood it with the dark color and expand that by, say, I don't know, maybe 30 pixels, give or take. Flood it so it's a little beefier. So here we have our back glow, our hot glow, and then our light glow. So you can kind of see that it's almost looking neonish, but it isn't quite there. So what I like to do is give the front blur, you know, give or take like 5, maybe 5, or, you know, 4 or 5 pixel blur. You can do more if you want. If it's a beefier outline, definitely go more if you want. For the back one, you definitely want a much greater blur. Sometimes I'll do like maybe 3 times as much. So for this one we'll do 30. So you can kind of get a sense of the neon effect here, but it's not quite there. If you find that the back neon glow isn't quite as apparent, you can just select the transparency of that layer and expand it, you know, we'll say 10 pixels, just because you want it to be more noticeable. There you go. So whatever you do, it's always fixable. So how do we halftone this now? So what I like to do is lock the transparency, flood it with white, create a brand new layer underneath it, and fill that with complete black. Now this is where we're going to take it in and get it halftoned. So you merge those 2 layers together, cut it, create a new document, leave this at the default because this is important. The size of the layer that you're going to make for halftoning has to match up with your artwork. So paste it. We're going to bring it over to grayscale. We want to flatten it, and then bitmap. This is where we're going to do our halftone magic. So again, leave this at the default. You want to use halftone screen. Click OK. I like to exaggerate my halftones. Sometimes I'll use like 10 lines per inch, but if you want it nice and fine so it looks more like a softer glow, you definitely want to go higher. You can go to like 30 to 45 lines per inch. So for this tutorial, we'll just keep it at 30. Actually, no, we'll do 45 because we want it to be nice and smooth. So there you go. It's all halftoned. So you're going to cut this. You're going to get rid of that work document because you're not going to need it anyway. You're going to go to your channels, create a brand new alpha channel, and paste. So there you go. So Command click on that alpha channel, go to your layers. You want to go to that layer that you previously used that's now empty. Fill it with your nice bright cyan color, or red if you're doing red, and then you flood it. So there you go. It's the first step. So you can see it's got a nice, screen printing friendly blend here with halftone dots. So now we're going to want to do it with the dark blue. So you want to block your transparent pixels, flood it with white, create a completely black background, merge the two layers, and cut. Again, make a brand new scratch document where we're going to convert it to halftones, flatten it, and then bitmap. Leave it at the default. And you probably want to use the same settings for the back glow of the neon too, just for the sake of consistency. If you leave the angle at 30 degrees, the dots will line up with each other, so they'll rest right one on top of the other. So it can have a cool effect if you like that, or you can just change it to like 35 degrees if you want them to offset. But generally, it's okay to just leave it as is. 45 lines per inch for the frequency, and shkiboing. There it is. Look at that. So you cut, get rid of that document, create a brand new alpha channel where you can paste your halftone in. Command select to create the selection of just the white areas. Go to your old layer that you'd used before. Pick your dark blue color and flood it. So there you go. Look at that. So there's our dark glow, our white hot, and then there's the blue. Look at that. Eh? So there it is. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Yeah, experiment, play around with it. Always work in layers. That way if something goes wrong, you can always change the color, make little adjustments, and, don't forget to save often. So, yeah, that's it. See ya, and jog on. That one's for Matt and Aaron and Chris. See ya.